Hey, what's up, friend? It's Mixed by 8i from mixedby8i.vision. Hey, man, that's a real website. So today we want to talk about the Pultec EQ on the master bus. And I really love the Pultec EQ. I have this entire series dedicated to the Pultec EQ and just how magnificent it sounds. We've tried it on the kick and the bass, a technique to use there. And then we've also added it to vocals to get a lot of that crispiness, that upfrontness. Now it's time to use this for what it was generally used for, and that's the mix bus. I love the EQP1A on a mix bus. I think why a lot of people like it is because, again, it just adds just a lot of openness to the sound, built in the 50s, but it's still talked about to this day. Like, it's just, you use this to just make things sound musical. And that's the entire case with using it on the mix bus. So I have here the EQP1A from IK Multimedia T-Rex. My thought process here is to take a lot of that low end. I know I'd like to talk about not boosting around that 20 to 30 hertz range, but in the case of a mix bus, I'm generally going to be doing this because my goal is to get rid of a lot more lows in that area. And not so much as get rid of it, but just controlling it. And so the thought process is to boost to the entirety. So I don't start with the attenuation like I do with vocals. The thought process is to boost until it just becomes a little bit too much. And at about 4, it became a little bit too much. And so my goal now is to cut slightly more than what I boosted. And so that's exactly what I did. And I got the sound that I wanted there. And I just increased the bandwidth a little bit, just to kind of widen it up on the high end. I could have went a little bit more, probably wouldn't have made a big difference, but I just turned some knobs until stuff sounded good. So it may be the placebo effect. In this case, normally what I would do is I would at least start with 5. So the goal here is to do this before you start throwing on any plugins. A great sounding mix bus will sort of give you that finished sound in your recordings or in your mixes. And so I love to start here. And I would start here before anything. Only thing that comes before mix bus processing is the leveling itself. Typically, I boost this at 12,000 hertz just to get a lot more openness and to get that mix to open up just a little bit. In this case, I had to attenuate for the first time ever using the EQP1A on the mix bus. I had to make the hard decision to attenuate because it was just too much. Okay, and so you can hear how this sounds. We'll bypass it back and forth.
Riding through my city filled with paranoia. Seem like everybody trying to get their door up. If I have to up this bitch, I need a law. Doing all I can to keep my shit in order. Riding through the city filled with paranoia. Seem like everybody trying to get their door up. If I have to up this bitch, I need a law. Doing all I can to keep my shit in order.
So you can hear in this case, it didn't really work for the song. And the reason is because by this time I had already added the kick and the bass EQP trick. And so I took this off and then I just ended up using what I had in my studio rack. But that does not mean that this EQP1A doesn't sound magical. You can hear just how much low end I started getting and just how much top end you can get. We'll just do it just to do it. I'll turn this off.
Riding through my city filled with paranoia. Seem like everybody trying to get their door up. If I have to up this bitch, I need a law. Doing all I can
can even go up to 16,000 hertz.
Riding through the city filled with paranoia. Seem like everybody trying to get.
But you can hear that just sounds like too much. And so I didn't go with this because of that reason. But normally my EQP 1A is on my sub mix. It's just this particular song, it just didn't work.